Some of you already know that I'm moving to Houston on January 8th. It's a 15-hour drive from where I currently live, and when I get there, I'm not gonna know anybody. The reason I decided to make this move was because I realized that I had to radically change my life if I was gonna go down the path that was gonna lead me to the life that I wanted to live. I want to dramatically level up my life this year, and the principles I'm gonna share with you in this video are my plan to do just that. This plan is how to get ahead of 99% of people in 2023. The first principle in this plan is to know what it is you want and to also know what it is you don't want. Dan Coe made a video on this subject several days ago, and one of the things that he talked about in the video, which I thought was really great, really essential, and I've actually been applying it since the video and it's really helped me, was to clearly understand what it is you don't want to have happen. Because it's a lot easier, honestly, to define the things you're afraid of than it is to define these big ultimate visions for our lives. The process for this starts with first defining what it is that you don't want to have happen in your life. So like for me, one of my big fears is that I will end up going to Houston and going completely broke, not building the social life I want to have, and basically all the things that I had going for me, I'll lose all of those things on the move and I won't replace them with anything better, and my life will just be in a significantly worse position for doing this. Once you're clear on this outcome that you don't want to have happen, you want to sit with it and you really want to ask yourself the question, what is it that I would have done that would have caused this fear to come to life? So like for me, I know that if I fail financially, it's probably gonna be because I was distracted, I was lazy, or I wasn't open-minded. It would be because instead of sitting down and doing the deep work that I would need to do to improve my YouTube channel, to acquire high-income skills, or overall build a good business, I'd be checking my phone every 30 seconds, or I'd be letting women distract me, or I'd just be avoiding the discomfort of doing the deep work. Or it would be because I wasn't open-minded enough to see the clear path forward, meaning I'd be too stuck in the way that I wanted things to go that I wouldn't see the opportunities for progress that are right in front of me. Once you identify these ways that you would screw yourself up, you can then ask yourself, okay, what is it that I would actually like to have happen? And what it is you want is probably going to be very close to the opposite of what it is that you don't want to have happen. And the same way that you ask yourself the question, what is it that I would do that would cause the things I don't want to have happen in my life to happen, you can ask yourself that question about the things that you do want to have happen. You can ask yourself the question, okay, what is it that I would need to change in my life to make sure that it was as likely as possible that I would end up achieving these goals? A good resource for this whole process comes from this book right here, Principles, Your Guided Journal, and the personality assessment that goes along with. This book is a resource to go along with the original book, Principles by Ray Dalio, the billionaire investor. I found that in working through this journal and taking the personality assessment as well, I was able to really clearly identify my values, my strengths, and my weaknesses. And if you know all of these things, you can more effectively set goals and achieve them. I took the personality exam and it came back that my three primary archetypes were the inventor, the shaper, and the entertainer. These archetypes help you recognize your personality type and recognize your own strengths and weaknesses. The assessment also tells you what you are most and least like. For example, the assessment showed me that I was in the 95th percentile on creativity, but I was actually in the 2nd percentile on being systematic. This shows that I have a very strong preference for ideas and concepts, but I struggle to take these ideas and put them into a system and implement them. And when I looked at my life, I saw that this was obviously true. Like, for example, I have a ton of ideas for YouTube videos, but I really struggle to get those ideas down on paper into a system that makes sense so that you guys can implement it in your lives and get some value out of it. But because of this awareness now, I'm able to avoid this tendency. I can recognize that maybe I have big ideas for something, but that I'm avoiding implementing systems, and I can catch myself doing that and counteract that by actually going and doing the more detail-oriented work that I don't really like to do, but I need to do if I'm actually going to succeed. This assessment is completely free to take, and I'm going to link to it in the description box. I really recommend you all take it, because if you're going to get clear on that vision you don't want to have happen in your life, the thing that's going to cause that to come to reality is those weaknesses and you not being aware of them and being conscious enough to make better decisions. The next thing we're going to cover is routine. Ask most successful people and they'll tell you that, yeah, goals are important and we need to have goals that we're aiming for, but your goals aren't going to be the thing that help you achieve things. It's going to be the systems and the routine you put around those goals. So once you've established this vision and anti-vision, you can focus more on the systems you need to implement on a daily basis to achieve your goals. Everyone wants to be in great shape, but not everyone has the systems in place in their life to bring that about. One person I found really valuable when it comes to routine and I've been listening to a lot is Dr. Andrew Huberman. Huberman. For those of you who don't know, Andrew is a neuroscientist at Stanford, and he shares a lot of science-based approaches to improving your health, improving your hormone levels, and using these things to overall make your life better. Now, one thing he's discussed multiple times is the best routine for your brain and body, which is to get up in the morning and do those more routine, willpower-based activities, and then in the afternoon focusing on creative work. So things like working out are best done during this early part of the day, as well as those more routine, mundane tasks that require a lot of willpower for you to get them done. So like with me, I already showed you guys that I have a strong tendency to avoid systematic, more detail-oriented work, so I have to get those kinds of things done first thing in the morning when my willpower is the highest, because I hate doing those kinds of tasks, and if I don't do them first thing, there's a good chance they're not going to get done. And in the afternoon is when I'll do my brainstorming and creative work. Now, beyond just overall daily routine, you need to actually focus on the actions you need to be taking every single day and actively implement them into your schedule. Like if you don't actively schedule trips to the grocery store or going to the gym or time in the day when you're going to learn that high income skill you need to learn, you're just going to default to being lazy. That's when you tell yourself, I'll find some time to squeeze in the workout, but you never actually do. You have to tell yourself that a part of your routine is going to be that from 7 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. I'm going to be working out. Now this part is going to be specific to you and that vision you came up with when we were discussing vision and anti-vision. But working back from each aspect of your vision to the immediate steps that need to be taken and then blocking those steps into your schedule is the key to consistent progress towards goals. The next principle is putting yourself in positions where success is as easy as possible. This is the concept of life setup. If you want to get in really great shape and stick to a diet, stock your house up with healthy foods and make sure that those foods are easy things to cook so you make it so that eating healthy is as easy and natural as possible. Like for me, when I go to Houston, I'm going to be working out at Alpha Land Gym. For those of you who aren't familiar with the fitness industry, this is a gym where a lot of content creators and people who run fitness businesses work out and collaborate. It's expensive to go there, but I set myself up so that I'm in the best position possible to meet people who are in my industry and elevate my business and content. This is a very easy way to get ahead of other people in life because most people do not set their lives up so that they can achieve the things they want easily. Like for example, so many guys want to earn a bunch of money and be in great shape, but they hang out around a bunch of out of shape losers with no ambition whose idea of having a good time is just going and getting drunk. And you just make your life way harder than it needs to be by doing things like this. Like love him or hate him, Dan Bilzerian is someone who clearly understood the concept of life setup. He knew what he wanted his life to look like, and he took steps to make sure that it was as easy as possible for that to happen. He even says in his book, which is called The Setup, that his real superpower or skill was simply that he knew how to put himself in positions where the things that he wanted to have happen in his life just came about very naturally. Like if you want to have a great dating life, but you live on the outskirts of town in some trailer playing video games, like you've made it as hard as possible for you to actually succeed at that. This principle is also another reason why knowing your strengths and weaknesses is essential. Like if you know you aren't detail oriented, don't set your life up so that you're trying to get rich as an accountant. Or if you know you aren't very disciplined, remove all the barriers that could keep you from actually doing what you need to get done. Like for example, if you've got a dirty desk, you're a lot less likely to sit down at the desk and do work, so clean your desk off and make it as easy as possible for you to just go ahead and do the work you need to do. The next principle to apply is learning to say no. If you can't say no to things, then you really can't say yes to your goals. Life is going to be constantly throwing distractions at you, and if you're not comfortable telling 90% of opportunities no, then you're not going to be able to make progress in life. Tim Grover, the former trainer for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, dedicated an entire chapter in his book Winning to talking about how important it is to be willing to be that asshole who says no to things. You have to be willing to say no to going out for drinks, say no to the family reunions, or say no to watching the game with your boys. If you can't say no, then you can't win. Winners say no to anything that doesn't move them forward towards their goals, and they're unapologetic about it. The next principle is consistency. In the movie Moneyball, there's a scene where Billy Beane, the GM of the Oakland A's, is trying to get the scouts and operations team to buy into his new approach for picking out players. The old approach was more about finding players who hit home runs, and Billy Beane's new approach was going to be, we're going to find the players that just get on base. The point he was trying to make is that the game of baseball is not about occasionally hitting a home run. It's about consistently getting on base. And sometimes in our lives, when we have that desire to dramatically change things, we can get into that mindset of looking to hit the home run, and we're constantly looking for the home run hit rather than realizing that our lives are just like baseball and that the point of the game is just to keep getting on base consistently, and over time you'll win. Life is a very long game, and if you show up every single day and consistently get those small wins, your results will compound and your life will dramatically change. Even on the 6 to 12 month time frame that we're talking about right now, if you just consistently showed up every single day and did the things that you needed to do to get those small wins and just get on base, your life would be so much different. Like, imagine if for 6 months straight you followed your diet, you hit the gym, you got up on time, and you kept working on improving your skill set, you could get paid more. You would be completely different. You would have had a fitness transformation, you'd be earning a bunch more money, and it was all about just consistently getting on base. Practice consistently doing the little things that will help you move forward in life, and you'll win big in the end. Now, once you've applied these macro principles, it's time to get down to the micro level. These are the actual tactical steps you're gonna follow to improve your life in whatever area it is you're focusing on. Whether that's job skills, a workout program, or really anything else that helps you move towards the things you want to accomplish. And if one thing you're working on this year is getting in great shape, but you don't really know how to start, or you don't know what kind of workout plan to follow, click this video right here to learn how you can build your aesthetic body and completely transform your physique in 2023.